Okay, I'll share the screen. First, we might share the assessment. If I can find it now. I just have to find it. I'm so pleased that everyone is so patient. Sometimes we have these hiccups. Okay, so assignment 2 is worth a little bit more points, 5 more points, so it's 35. So that normally in Australia, if this is happening, that means that we expect that students have learned by now something, and we can expect from students a bit more competence. So when we expect little competence, we allocate very little percentage to the grade, like 30% or 20%. But when we expect now that students learn something, now it's 35. And assignment 3 is 35. So altogether is 100. So in the assignment 2, what we would like to happen is that we create an advertisement. We agreed before with NIE that advertisement should be of the NIE, but by all means, if you want to advertise maybe a school or your former university, we're still happy with that, right? But we wrote NIE because you are at NIE, so it would be good for you to look for some positives about NIE and maybe create some advertisements on the issue that you think it's worth sharing with the world for people to learn about the good things of the NIE. So as you can see, we would like the text to be also to use multimedia. But if you have a text that comes with the advertisement, but if the advertisement is spoken, then submit the print version to NIE so that NIE can read it, not just listen to it. So that would be good, right? So the print version of the advertisement, please submit also on Google Drive so that teacher NIE can read it for herself. So the outcomes, again, capacity to work together, but each student is marked separately. So as in assignment 2, each student is responsible for their advertisement, but collaborates with other people to help each other learn how to do it best. Use of multimedia, again, being able to understand the genre of an advertisement. We will talk about it more next week, right? Today we do a bit of a warm-up. Clarity again, and again, fluency. As you are doing Moodle exercises, we expect that your fluency is improving from week to week. Any questions on that one?
So the student will talk about anything that NIE have done, right? They have to do edit video as well.
Well, so we will discuss it a bit more in detail on the form of the advertisement. We might actually discuss next week a bit closer. Today, what we want to do is to next week is looking closer at the form of the advertisement, but today I want us to learn some skills, literacy skills, but literacy of pictures, how to read pictures and how picture connects with the text, right? So we've done Grasshopper and we have learned a little bit about the coherence and the structure of text. Obviously, we have very little time, but that's good enough. And for assignment 2, we now want to see how the picture talks or relates to the text and make these connections. So today we just have a little bit of a warm-up, and next week we will look at advertisements, real advertisements from television, and also other advertisements, and we will see how is this helping us to produce our own advertisements of NIE. So it will be multimedia. It will include spoken language, maybe some text written, and definitely some pictures. You can create a movie, right? So you can create actually a YouTube recording, a video. So Teacher Neri, is that good enough for today?
Yes, it should be something a little bit more than the student may have an idea for next week.
Yeah, so today we're just starting a little bit to see the links between pictures and text, because sometimes we watch things on television and we take it in, but we don't have, we might be analyzing it, but not maybe enough to produce our own videos or our own advertisements, right? So it's good to have this explicit understanding of the relationship between what we see on the screen and the text, and have some analytical skills to see how people manipulate us. I am not saying every advertisement is bad, but sometimes we are manipulated, and sometimes negatively and sometimes positively. So yeah, we're gonna learn a little bit. So today is just a warm-up, just a little bit of a play. So I'll share something else today. I'm happy to see that everybody is getting more talkative. I really enjoyed Moni's discussion. It's not necessarily that we agreed or disagreed. It's the discussion that is helping us to identify, to better understand how things are and our expectations. And I really like that discussion. And sometimes assignments, you know, generate this discussion, because the time when we learn, we're a bit quiet, we don't know, maybe we don't understand. Being shy is not helpful, right? Shy is just like for children, right? There's no need to be shy. So I'm very happy that this discussion is happening now. So let me start. Now, as always, Teacher Neri and everybody else interrupt when you want, when you have questions. But in any event, this is this class today is a discussion between us. So we're gonna look at pictures today and see what we know and how we can make sense of pictures. So advertisements. I could ask you a question, in what form come advertisements? Or I might say, in what? So advertisements are a genre, right? Advertising is a genre, but the genre can have different forms. What forms do advertisements come in? Does anyone know? What advertisements have you seen? What did they look like? In what form? Try talking now, not when the deadline is for the assignment 2. So what form? Come on, friends. Teacher Neri, do I have to call students' names, or can they just free?
You can call their name, otherwise they will not answer.
So Teacher Neri, can you do that? In what forms have you seen advertisements?
Okay, so may I ask Jamnan that? Jamnan?
Yeah, teacher, I'm here.
Yeah, good. Can you answer the questions, please?
So actually for the advertisement, generally they just their messages to let other people know about their product. So they just capture the main point. What is special about their product?
Right, so that's the genre of advertising. So that's what the genre of advertising does. But what form does it take?
I'm not quite sure about this idea.
Okay,
Doctor.
so I'll give you an example of one form. Me going to the market and telling people, buy my chips, the best chips on the planet, the best chips. Grandmother's recipe, buy my chips. What am I doing now? That's an advertisement. Grandmother's chips, best chips, buy my chips, best chips. Original and no chemicals from my garden, best chips, buy my chips. So that's an advertisement. So that's what I was doing. What form was it?
That is convincing.
Yeah, and so what form? It was just advocating for my product orally, screaming, yelling at to people, going to the market and just orally advocating for my product face to face with the buyers, right? It's face to face. Buy from me, come here, you know, come and chat with me, you know, come here. Don't go, instead of moiling and toiling through the shops, come here. The answer is here, right? So it's face to face advocating for your product. Yeah, Chemnan?
Yeah, Doctor. I guess based on my observation, mostly for the advertisement, they just try to find a funny way or other way around to entertain people, and at the same time they can just learn their product and interested in their product. Especially, I most of the time have seen in Thai advertisement.
Okay, so we still have a problem of the form, right? What forms? Okay, can everyone see this?
Yeah.
I'll make it bigger. Oh, I can't make it bigger. This is the biggest it gets. So what is it?
That's the hygiene about how to keep yourself far away from COVID-19 thing.
Is this an advertisement?
Yeah, I think this is kind of advertisement.
This is not really an advertisement to me. It's like informing.
Right. So it's an advertisement. It's an information. What is it? What is it at all? What is it? What's this? What do we call things like that?
It is a poster.
Poster. Whoever said that? That's right. Information poster. Right? Informative information poster. It's a poster. So I will write it down. If my computer allows me. So it's a poster.
That borrow my fantastic.
Right, so a poster can advertise a message, right? Can advertise a product or can communicate information to the public. Notice what's on the bottom written. Do you see on the very bottom written? There's something written like Northern Territory. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? What it indicates? And at the top of the advertisement, it says Department of Health. Can you see it?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think this poster is released by the government or the Ministry
right.
of Health or something.
Right. So this advertisement is produced by the government for children or for adults or for everyone.
It is for everyone because it's about COVID-19, I think. So it's for everyone.
Anyone else thinking, is it for everyone or is it for children? What if I said it was for children? Why would you think, why do you think what makes me here think that it is for children? What do you think?
Apparently, based on the hands, it looks like a children hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I agree with whoever said that it is for everyone, because sometimes you can use children's hands to communicate. However, because they look like children's hands, I'm thinking it's probably for the school. So it's an advertisement. So the genre is advertisement, but the form here is a poster. That's interesting, isn't it? What other form of advertisement we can have? Poster, face-to-face advocacy.
Face-to-face video, through magazine,
Yes.
voice, yeah,
Face-to-face
radio,
that's it. Advocacy, so face-to-face is what I had to.
and
So me standing in the market, it is
sometimes it can
face-to-face.
be,
Video,
can be,
magazine. What in the magazine? What's in the magazine? How can you advertise in the magazine? What does it look like? Is it the
it's about
post
the text, yeah. It's
picture?
about the text to.
Yeah. So you can see that advertisement has many forms, right? It can have a poster, it can be standing in the market and screaming, buy things from me. It can be a video, it can be pictures and text, right? It could be lots of things. So one genre, many forms. That's great. So what have we learned so far? I mean, this is just, what do you think? What have we learned so far about text that may help us in designing an advertisement? To help us design an advertisement. So what have we learned? What have we learned so far that might be helpful for us to create an ad?
Yeah, we have to learn how to create a website to help us to advertise something more widely and worldwide, and we can spread this to the people everywhere through our website that we have learned.
What else? What else have we learned?
Google site.
Yeah, but what else have we learned that can help us in creating an advertisement?
Text, yeah, how to write a text.
Okay, so what's okay, so I'm just thinking how to continue this discussion. I'm thinking of best questions. Before I take you to the next slide, I'm just thinking, are we recording this? I just have to make sure. Can everyone check whether we're recording?
Yeah, you have recorded it already. It's in the beginning, of course.
I'm just gonna stop sharing for a moment to check whether we are recording.
Yeah, we are recording, teacher.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Because sometimes things go funny. Why can't I see it? Can't see anything. All right, so I trust you, friends. So we are recording, so I trust you. So we just run through it. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I didn't delete it. Okay, so advertisement is the genre, has many forms. We learned something about the text structure.
Text structure, researching.
That's right.
Group
So,
working, discussion.
That's right. What is the purpose of a text? Any text. So it could be a poster or a story. What's the purpose of a text? This is, by the way, just in case you think that this is just cool discussion and nothing to it, this is actually, we're doing theory of semiotics. Semiotics is the study of meaning. And what I'm taking you through using practical tasks, I'm taking you through enormous volumes of the theory of linguistics. And you're learning a lot of linguistics. You're learning a lot about language, and you learn a lot about what is text and semiotics, which is why and how people create text. So you're learning a lot of information without the abstract vocabulary. So what's the purpose of the text? I think we've covered this last week, I think, and maybe a week before, but maybe some of you can think of what's at the core of the text. What's the most important part of the text?
I think the purpose of the text is to give people information or something new, or to advertise something. I think.
Okay, so it doesn't take this course to say this, to give people information.
Yes, give people information.
How do you know what to give information about?
In general, any information assigned by teacher, professor.
Okay, so that's a little bit unclear.
About health, about tourists, about education.
But how do you know that people need it?
Yeah, again, please.
You see, you can talk till the cows come home and nobody's gonna read it. So what makes the text worth reading?
What makes the text worth reading?
When you read something, you go, "Oh my God, that was so good. That was so good." And why would a particular story, a particular text, a particular post, a particular anything been good? What makes any text worth experiencing, worth reading? And now for you, it could be worth reading, for someone else, not.
Yeah, I used to experience this. I think what make the text worth reading, I think first is about the order, the logical order, the coherence. They don't show us clearly about 20 word or coherence, unity of the text. Yeah.
These are all good thoughts, but we need really the core of the answer. The most important part of the text is
the most important part of the text is, I think that
Main, would you like to say out because I can see your message? Why don't you speak?
who said that? Was it teacher Neri?
I can see one student who wrote the answer, but he doesn't speak at all.
Okay, so I moved to chat. These are the different forms, audience interest. All right, so maybe I will not answer this question. Let's have a look what we have here. What makes this, why did the government produce this poster for children, for schools? What makes it worth reading?
what may
So the government, we agreed that the government of Northern Territory, which is the state where I teach, where I live. So the government of the Northern Territory, the Department of Health, produced this poster, and because these hands are children's hands, it is fair to assume that this poster was created for schools, for children. What makes it, why? Why did the government create this poster?
I think there's to a lot of people to know, to be aware of the dangers of COVID-19 and how to keep yourself safely from COVID-19.
That's your assumption. You're reading into it. You're correct, but you're reading into it. What's precisely here? What is this poster showing us?
How to clean, how to wash your hand correctly.
That's it. How to wash your hands, right? This is showing us how to wash your hands. Is it telling us why to wash your hands?
I think, yeah, based on the sign, based on the signals on the poster, I think everyone understands the reason why we should wash our hands these days.
So how is the poster indicating why we should wash our hands? How's the poster indicating it?
Protect you and your family, coronavirus, COVID-19.
How is it in the poster indicated why to wash your hands?
Through the text, the written text here.
Yeah, the text, the signal.
Okay, so why is this poster worth reading by children? Why was this poster created? To communicate the message of washing your hands, how to wash your hands, right? So why is this poster worth reading? For children to learn about. Why is this poster worth reading? Because when you look at it, you read it. Even if it is just a picture, you are reading the picture, understanding, interpreting. So this poster is worth reading by children. It was created for children to learn how to keep their hands clean or how to wash their hands, right? So is washing your hands a problem? Is it important to wash your hands? No, it's not important to wash your hands.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so we move on to the next step before we come back to the question, what makes a text worth reading? Okay, if you can answer it now, then please tell me. But basically, this is our question. What makes a text worth reading? Do we have an answer? Oh, wow, where did we go? Sorry for that. That was, okay, so we make it smaller so we don't go crazy here. So is anyone fast enough to explain what makes a text worth reading or not? We don't know yet.
Teacher, I want to try.
Yeah.
I think what makes a text worth reading is because it relates to the people's life. Because if we have no interest or the information is not about us, so we seem to lose interest. So I think that, yeah, because the text relates to our life.
So that's almost there. We're almost there with the answer. So I've saved this so that I have it on recorded. We will come back to it. So let's now go through particular exercise, right? Refreshing your memory. I'm checking the time. Every time I look to the right, I'm looking at the clock. I should probably look at my computer screen, but for some reason I don't. So let's go through some thinking. So we agreed that that was an advertisement and it was a poster, right? I don't know how to make it visible for you guys. This is so small. Maybe I could make it larger. Hey, let's see. Advertisement, and then form is a poster. What is it? What is the post? What is it communicating? What is it talking about? It's someone said it's hygiene. I never know how to spell hygiene, so sorry for it. Oh, okay. So it's about hygiene, right? It's personal hygiene. Okay. What is it contrasting? What are the contrasts? What is it comparing? Remember how we were doing with grasshopper and the ant? Grasshopper was carefree and the ant was hardworking, right? We learned it from the story. So what's here? What's this advertisement comparing?
I think these are comparing about trying to keep yourself clean is better, can save your life than those who's careless about washing their hands.
That's it. So that's very good. So it's comparing clean versus dirty. That's pretty good. We all agree, right? It's comparing clean. How's it doing this? How does it, where is it dirty here? How do you see dirty here?
The tissue.
How do you see dirty? What are the contrasting groups now? Let's look for groups. Okay, so let me remind you now, because this is the idea is to do these comparisons today. So with the grasshopper, sorry for that, but this that's our basic tool. So we had grasshopper and the ant, right? And what were we comparing? Chirping and singing, right? So this was one group. Hopping about was another. This was a group of being carefree. Hopping about, chirping and singing to your heart's content, right? So that's singing, not just singing, but singing to your heart's content. It is like, oh my God, I'm in heaven. So that was one contrast, carefree. Now the ant had other groups, was bearing, which means carrying something. Was not, if you carry something, you can't dance. You can't hop about when you bear something. Bear means carry. With great toil. If it is a great toil, you can't hop about. You can't, when you carry something heavy, you're not gonna be chirping and singing to your heart's content. You'll be sweating, barely breathing, but carrying on with the task because you understand, you have an end goal in your mind. So bearing along, so this is another group, right? With great, so this is like, let's make it red because it's a different group. So we have a contrast of words, hopping about, chirping and singing, and then we have the other contrast, bearing along with great toil, an ear of corn, toiling and moiling. These are the contrasting word groups that belong to the end, toiling and moiling. So there's a rhyme here, true, but the rhyme is used to underscore the heavy work of the end, right? So whereas what does the grasshopper say? Chat with me. Come here, chat with me. So hopping about, chirping and singing, wanting to chat. So these are the sort of symbols or word groups or groups that belong to being carefree, whereas the words that belong to the ant is bearing with great toil, toiling and moiling. So when we look here, what are the contrasting groups here? Now we have to find them in the picture because we don't have a fable. Now we have pictures. So the pictures are showing to children to contrast two different things, the clean and dirty, right? How is the dirty here indicated?
So what contrasting groups can you identify?
Do we see dirt on children's hands here?
Yes.
Well, it's soap, it's dirt or soap, I don't know.
I understand the question. The contrasting groups are like children or unknowledge people or people who live far away from the city or
Right, something like that. So that would be
poor
for another
people.
text. That would be for another text. But here, I would think that contrasting groups would be dirty equals covered in soap, right? Because you don't put soap on clean hands. So all the hands which have white things, it's the soap, right? It shows to children how to distribute the soap to remove the dirt, right? So the contrast, we have clean versus dirty. So dirty is indicated by soap, and it shows to us wash between your fingers, wash inside of the hands, outside of the hands, between, right? So the dirt is indicated here with the soap. Put the soap on all those dirty things, right? So that's one contrasting group. You see how hard it is to see? It's really hard to have to make explicit understandings of the things that we take for granted, like the meaning of this poster. It's important to make these explicit understandings because when you create your own advertisements, you will be more reflective about how you do it. Okay, so how is clean here indicated? What's the symbol for clean? So the contrast is between dirty and clean. How is clean indicated here? Right, so the job is finished. You've done the job very well. Now you have clean hands. You are ready to dry them. You see? So we have, so the poster is contrasting clean and dirty. If you want to have clean hands ready for drying, you have to put soap on your hands because they're dirty, and you have to clean them in these specific ways to remove all the dirt. So very skillfully, a person who created this poster compared dirt against cleanliness. And the dirt, it's very hard to do the dirt on your hands because you don't see dirt, right? My hands are clean, but clearly they're not clean. So you can't see dirt. So what the person who created this poster, what the person did, used soap to indicate dirt. The dirt is on the inside of your hand, on the outside of your hand, between your fingers. You've got to clean very thoroughly, right? So dirt was compared with cleanliness. dirt was indicated by soap. You can have dirt everywhere on your hands, even between your fingers. And cleanliness was with, oh, look at this, no more soap. Now you are ready to dry off your hands. Now, did you know that before I told you that? Yes or no? Pong liang meng. Did you know that before I told you that?
I already responded in the chat box. I said no.
Okay, Sovanara. Chan Sovanara, did you know that
Yes,
before?
teacher.
Did you know this? Before I told you that? That dirty and clean. Dirty is by soap and clean is indicated. No soap, ready to dry.
I don't know it.
Yeah, so you see how hard it is? It's a simple poster for children. We all understand it. We all understand it, but it's hard to talk about it. It's hard to talk. Was someone talking? So that was yes, teacher. Yes, but I can't understand it very well. Teacher Neri, can you explain?
I cannot because okay, so with read bật tầm lên cho nha đi ơi. Rick មានបញ្ហា microphone អញ្ចឹងបិទបន្តិច Okay, now it's all dear.
All right, so we're pretty good now. So far, so good. So what problem was the poster addressing? What problem was the poster addressing?
Problem is virus transmission.
What problem was the poster actually explaining some problem? Was the poster referring to some problem? Was the poster addressing some problem?
Virus, coronavirus, is that the problem?
I don't think it was addressing coronavirus. There is no virus on the picture. Okay, so what problem was the poster addressing?
Cleaning our hands.
Right, the importance of knowing how to clean your hands. Okay, so what's the takeaway message? So what's the moral? What's the moral? What moral is the poster communicating?
Teacher, I think the moral is that prevention is better than cure.
Right, pretty good. I like it. So cleaning your hands is important. Prevention is better than cure. I love that. Pretty good. So there we go. So cleaning your hands is important. And this is what dirty hands, this is where dirt is. And this is how you avoid having
I think
dirt.
one more.
Yeah.
Oh, someone is preparing the house near my room, so it's a bit noisy. I want to say one moral about this is small thing but big help. Small things, big save.
That's right. Small. How can we translate it better into English?
Small thing, big save. I think.
Small ask, like we're not asking
Small
much
ask,
of
big
people.
save. Yeah, I think.
Something like that. All right, so look at that, what we did. Oh, it was so painful. It's very hard. I have to tell you that these questions don't come from my head. They are from Professor Ramachandran. He's #1 neuroscientist in the world. I actually am using his model here to teach you to read texts, whether written or posters or anything else. So this is not just mine. I'm using his model and I'm teaching you. So he developed a model how human brain processes information, and I'm using his model to teach you how to read text. So it's a neurological model of reading. Yeah, so it's not just me. So we've done a lot of work. And what did we learn from this analysis? Can anyone think a little bit abstractly? What did we learn from this analysis, from this process that we have just now conducted?
How to make an interesting advertisement.
Yeah. Even if two of you are talking at the same time, it really won't hurt. Teacher Neri, can you ask students so that they can just call the students so we don't have this double talk?
Yeah, Udam already mentioned it. Udam, can you say that again?
I'm sorry, teacher, because in my room there is also another teacher. He's teaching online.
But can you say that again, what you have mentioned just now?
Yes, sir. We talk about how to create an interesting advertisement or poster.
And how do you do it? What exactly did we learn? What was the mechanism? What's the process? How do you create an interesting poster?
I'm not really sure with that.
Okay, so what was the key? What steps do you have to take to create a good poster? What did you learn? There are some steps here. We have now analyzed them. So can you identify the steps for creating a good poster?
Maybe Boromai can give a half. Boromai, what do you think? Boromai, are you with us?
Yes, teacher. I think the steps to create a good poster is we have to have the contents, and then we can find like the contrast, like the advantage and disadvantage. I guess I'm not so sure too.
Yeah, well, that's what contrast is, right? That's what contrast is, the good things and the bad things, the clean hands as opposed to dirty hands, right? So how do you identify the content?
We can look for the message, I guess, like in this
Yes, so
poster.
the moral, you always start with the
Yes.
moral. That's very good. What is it that you want to communicate? What moral is this to communicate? Okay, it's very interesting that I cannot dig out from you. Okay, so what I really want to hear, I don't know why. So let me just think what best question to create. So what makes this poster worth looking at? Why did the government feel they had to produce this poster?
I think because it helps the children to prevent themselves from getting infected by
Okay,
the
so you're jumping,
coronavirus.
yes, that's true, but you're jumping 7 steps ahead. It helps children to learn how to keep their hands clean, how to keep bacteria away from yourself, how to keep the virus away. So it helps children learn how to clean your hands properly in order to be clean. And as you said, reduce infection as a result, right? But clean hands are important not just for COVID, but they are also important for every day, right? You don't want to have dirty hands and eat with dirty hands, right? So you always want to have clean hands. So it communicates to children what it means to wash your hands properly. It explains, the poster explains how to wash your hands properly. And notice it doesn't specifically talk about COVID. It really says protect you and your family, but it's not just about COVID. If you go home and you make food or you prepare food for your family with dirty hands, there is a likelihood that you will bring in some parasite or God knows what. You always want your vegetables washed, your hands clean before you prepare food. So the poster communicates how to, not just the importance of washing your hands, but also how to wash your hands. It solves the problem. Children have a problem. They do not know how to wash their hands. So the government assumed, right? The government assumed that not all children know how to properly wash their hands. So it created a poster to explain how to wash your hands properly, to be hygienic, to be clean. So what makes this poster worth looking at or worth reading is, it explains to us how to wash our hands properly, right? So what makes the poster worth reading? It explains to us how to wash our hands properly. The poster addresses a problem, right? A poster addresses a problem. Yeah, what makes a text worth reading? Each text addresses a problem. So a text can be a poster, can be a video, can be a narrative. Each of them addresses a problem. A love story, so in the narrative, a love story addresses the problem of what love is, right? So relates to people's lives. Yes, relates to people's lives. But love story typically explains to us what love is and what love is not, addresses the problem of love. A video showing us to buy apples, right? for example, may be addressing the problem. We will see, we will look at advertisements next week, but maybe a video telling us buy apples or buy whatever, bananas, the relevance, the problem of how bad it is not to eat vegetables or fruit, right? You need to eat your vegetables and fruits. You need to eat your greens. You need to eat, right? So how good it is to eat apples and compare it. Well, if you don't eat vegetables or fruit, your digestion can be damaged, right? So the groups, what the video advertising apples might be doing is showing buy apples because apples are good for you, as opposed to if you don't buy apples, not or any fruit, bad things might happen. Video showing cheap apples, buy our apples, you compare prices. Oh, our apples are cheaper than in the shop next door. So you compare prices. So it addresses the problem of cheap purchase, right? So any text, so what makes a text worth reading? Texts address a problem. So text clarify or resolve, help us. So maybe I would leave the address a problem and help us clarify or find a solution. Find a solution to a problem. So here, what was clarified was how best to wash your hands, right? So this poster clarified to us. So address the problem of dirtiness, of being dirty, and showed us that to look after you, to support hygiene, to be clean, you need to do the following things. This is how you wash your hands to stay healthy, to stay clean. So this text addressed the problem of how to wash your hands, of how to be clean. The problem is how to be clean, right? So how do you stay clean? Well, you have to wash your hands. Well, not really. You have to wash your hands in this particular way. So it's not, the problem is it's not easy to wash your hands. You've got to learn how to wash your hands properly. So this particular poster help us to learn how to wash our hands well. So texts help us clarify or text address problems, right? Texts are created around a problem. Every text has a problem. If it doesn't have a problem, it doesn't clarify anything. It's very hard for people to relate to a text when the problem is not specified. It has to be specified in some way. Something there must be in the text that a person knows that by reading this particular text, they will find an answer, right? So not every text people find interesting. So maybe there could be a text on Jesus that most of you will not find interesting. There could be a text about Buddha's teaching that someone else from different culture might not find relevant, because the problems that Buddha talks about are not maybe questions that we are posing, right? I'm not saying this is the case. This is just an example. So every text is created around a problem and helps to address this problem, right? Every text. So the most important part of the text is the problem. The problem is the core of the text. yes, it is important to clean your hands, but not everybody knows how to do it. So this poster addresses the problem, how to do it properly. How to do it properly. And the moral is doing it properly is important because prevention is better than cure. Right? So problem, you need to know how to wash your hands properly. That's what this poster is addressing. I don't have the time to cover all the things that I wanted to show. We have very little time left, so I will show you some other sort of just examples. What problem is this poster addressing? Teacher Neri, can you ask some students, call them by the name so we don't have
Yeah. Ratana, would you mind answer the questions? It's quite clear. Ratana?
what problem is this poster addressing?
So maybe I'm calling another one. And Sron, would you please answer? What is that? What is the answer for the problem of this? Sron is not here.
Okay,
Okay.
what about udon? Udon?
Udam, yeah, Udam is Udam. Not either. How about Samniang? Samniang?
Yeah, teacher.
See, why don't you just answer? So what is the answer?
The poster. I think that some school when have a new student come in school and how you have what do you call in the school gang, like a gang, and or always bullying the new student, right? I think
Well,
like
it
that.
doesn't have to be new. Sometimes we bully students that we know, our friends. So basically, this poster is addressing the problem of feeling safe in schools, right? You want to feel safe in the school, right? So the problem of bullying, the poster is addressing both the problem of bullying and the problem of, so it's contrasting, right? It's here's the, not only it's contrasting bullying with safe, right? You can see the contrasting groups. What are the contrasting groups here? Bullying and safe. Any other contrasts can you see? And so how's bullying here? So bullying and safe. What are the contrasting groups of bullying? What does, right, so show me the contrasting groups. Can someone show me the contrasting groups here?
Excuse
Hello,
me, teacher,
teacher.
I'm coming.
Yeah, can you answer? Either Ratana or Dam, that's okay. Either one of you.
I think Nam first.
Brother, let me first. Let you
Okay.
first, brother, because I'm just coming. I'm sorry.
Okay, what contrasting groups can you see here?
Ratana, can you answer?
Yes, teacher. On the poster, I see two elements contrast each other. The first one is about color. Black, which represent the bullying, the wording bullying, and white ones represent the safe place zone in the school.
So it's, so the words are contrasted. Anything else?
Color, teacher. Color.
Teacher Niri, what did the students say?
Color, the black.
That's
and
it, the colors. So bullying is with red. Why is bullying connected with red?
Maybe it's related to blood.
Yes, similar to his ID, I think red here represent the dangerous thing.
Yeah, so red in nature is danger, right? So you have spiders, you have insects with red color, that means danger, right? Red is always connected with danger, and white is the white hats, you know, the people who are good, you know, in American movies, people, the cowboys who are good always were wearing white hats. But white is heaven, is peace, is angels, whereas red is the danger, is the color of danger, right? So when you have a stop sign, it's red, right? So red is that alarm, you know, you have to be alert, alarm, no good, right? So a lot of things that are safety things, they will be in red color to show to you, pay attention, this is about danger, you know, this is dangerous. Yes, so that's very good pickup. So it's not just the words are contrasted, but also the colors and the shape of a sign. Does anyone drive? You have a car?
Can I try one more time?
Yeah.
It's like yin and yang, black and white. But in here, we have red and white.
Yeah, but they are not complementary. Actually, they separate. You see, that's in some way they in I can't see the red and white as yin and yang, because yin and yang are complementary. Whereas here, I think stop bullying is just danger, right? Don't go there. Well, I don't know, but that's how I see it. But that's good. What about the sign itself? Does anyone drive a car? What does the sign, is this shape of a sign on, what does it say?
Tatya, what do you want to mention, Ri? Because I can see you writing.
For me, I think that the shape of the sign is polygon or what? No, but hexagon.
Doesn't the sign mean no entry? Something like that?
So actually, the sign is mean obligation. Someone like some a kind of like ask someone to do something, like it's an order.
All right. So however we interpret the shape of the sign, that's also important, right? It's a road sign. It's clearly a road sign, right? So there's no other way of interpreting it. The shape is a road sign, right? Is it a road sign?
Yes, it's a road sign, and it's like telling the driver to listen, to do, like order the driver to do something.
Don't go there, right? Don't go there. Don't go there. It's just don't. It just spells don't. Okay, so we've done quite a lot today. I'm happy to finish for today. We had a few hiccups today, but so far so good. So we've done some things today. What we did learn today was that every text is a response to a problem. Every text is a response to a problem. No text is created by itself, right? So even when we were discussing in part 1 today, the website, the whole website was created around the problem that not all tourists know all the interesting places in Cambodia, right? So that was the problem that the website was responding to. So it was important to say it, right? So that the tourist says, oh, really? We don't know everything. Oh my God. So what are you saying? So every text is created around the problem, and every text then uses contrasting groups to help us see what happens if you, to help us better understand the relationships in the problem. If the problem is about health and the ability to wash your hands. So now what was contrasted was dirt versus clean, and ability to keep your hands clean so that you are not dirty, so that you don't not infect yourself and others, but you just don't spread dirt and disease as a result. So every text is around the problem. Every text then identifies some contrast and then looks for groups that will help a person illuminate or communicate the contrast. So here we had dirt and clean. Dirt was indicated with soap. Soap, this is where how you put soap on your hands to keep them clean, right? So dirt here was indicated by soap. Cleanliness was the last picture, when you no longer need soap because your hands are clean, you dry them and you are good to go, right? So, and the idea of each text is to include enough information, enough contrast, and enough contrasting groups for the moral of the text to be clear to the audience. And the moral here is, this is how to do your hands clean. This is how to make your hands clean. This is how you keep, and it's important. We created this poster for you as a child to know that keeping your hands clean is important. Now, obviously, as adults, we can add more information to it, that, you know, hands means disease and prevention is better than cure. We can add all of that. But for little children here, the moral was, what did I say before? Keeping your hands clean is important to stay healthy, right? Keeping your hands clean is important to stay healthy. But the moral is never obvious until you produce enough of contrasting groups. And look how many groups here they have. They have only the last picture is about cleanliness. All the other pictures have soap on the hands, which means that in order to show what to do, in order for the moral to be visible, to be understandable for the audience, for children, you had to show how omnipresent dirt is on your hands. It's just not only on your palms, but it's here and here and here and here and here. So this is how you wash your hands properly. So we have 5 pictures here, 5 pictures with dirt, which is with soap, right? But soap indicates dirt. So we have 5 pictures with dirt here, and that's how the balance was achieved. So much dirt, therefore you need to do so much work before you get to picture 6, where you have clean hands and you can dry it. So how big your groups of contrasts are for the moral to be visible to the audience? That's something for you to think about, right? How here we have 5 against 1. The only picture that is contrasting with dirt is the 6th picture. It's the last picture. So 1 picture of cleanliness and 5 pictures with dirt, right? So look at the balance. And that's because dirt is an enemy. So and it's everywhere. So this is how you have to find it here, 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 here. So we learned today that texts are about the problem. In order to communicate the moral that you want to share with the audience, you have to identify contrasting arguments, and then you have to balance, or you have to create groups, whether it's of words or of pictures that will illuminate the contrast, right? So Grasshopper and the Ant story had words. Here we have pictures. Then you have to think what groups will communicate your contrast and how much is enough. And that's the problem you have to solve as the author. I will finish for today. We will look at some advertisements next week. We will also probably do something else that I prepared, which is how to create a story using our model. So hygiene is important. If you don't know how to work disturbance now, so focus, hygiene is important. Disturbance, if you don't know how to wash your hands, you are most likely to be a danger to yourself. Dialogue, well, being a danger to yourself is no good because you make yourself sick and other people sick. Development, this is how you wash your hands. Resolution, look at this. Once you actually thoroughly have washed your hands, this is how clean hands look like, and now you are ready to dry them. The moral, prevention is better than cure. I hurried it a little bit today because we didn't have the time to cover to cover this aspect of our class today, but that gives you a little bit of a preparation for next week. So I will put this video, that video is being recorded. I will put it on our website, and those of you who are here can re-watch it, and those who are absent can watch it. Now I'll leave some time for teacher Neri to have some time with you and speak Khmer so she can consolidate the class before we close. So thank you so
Before
much.
I talk to my student, Dr. Ania, may I ask the duration, I mean, the length of the assignment number 2, how long?
I think it's written there, isn't it? If we, so I will stop sharing at this very moment. And if we go to here, so you have to read this thing, 500 words.
500 words, I see.
Right, so you have to go always back to this document. You always have to go back to this document and you find all the answers there.
I see the big number 9 and because we are a little bit late already, so can we discuss about the
where is the number 9? What do you mean by number 9?
The due date of assignment number 2, you say week number 9. Yeah,
week number 9, but we know we are running late, so say in about 3 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, we will be ready to submit. So we will take next week to just look at the production of advertisements and so on, and then next week we might actually discuss some of your drafts and you will be ready to submit.
Okay, but thank you very much. So I will talk to my student a little bit before we end. ទាំងអស់គ្នានៅជាមួយខ្ញុំតែប្រហែលជាមិនតាន់ទៅអស់ទេត្រូវទេ
នៅទី
ចាហ្នឹងហើយខ្ញុំសង្ឃឹមថាយល់បានអ្វីដែលគាត់បានព្យាយាមបញ្ចូលប្រាប់យើងរយៈពេល2ម៉ោងហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងការងារបន្តរបស់យើងហ្នឹងគឺត្រូវធ្វើការផ្សព្វផ្សាយពីការសិក្សានៅវិទ្យាសាស្ត្ររបស់យើងអាចរកពីអ្វីដែលយើងគិតថាវាជាចំណុចពិសេសចំណុចសំខាន់អញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងសរសេរពីសំខាន់គឺយើងនិយាយពីឬគាត់និយាយពីបញ្ហាដែលវាកើតឡើងធ្វើឲ្យបញ្ហាហ្នឹងចេញជារូបរាងហើយឃើញឲ្យគេមើលថាវាសំខាន់សម្រាប់ធ្វើការផ្សព្វផ្សាយអញ្ចឹងណាឧទាហរណ៍ថាយើងនិយាយអំពីគ្រូនៅ NIE ហ្នឹងឧទាហរណ៍គាត់ជាគ្រូដែលមកអំពីរបដាមកពីក្រៅប្រទេសអីហ្នឹងជាការផ្សព្វផ្សាយបុគ្គលិកនៅក្នុងហ្នឹងមួយឬក៏យើងនិយាយអំពីអាគារនៅ NIE ហ្នឹងខ្ពស់អីក៏ថ្មីដែលគេសាងសង់អីច្រើននិយាយទៅវាមានធានបទច្រើនដែលយើងអាចសរសេរដើម្បីផ្សព្វផ្សាយពីវិទ្យាស្ថានខ្ញុំគិតថាយើងប្រហែលជាមានកម្រិតច្រើនជាងខ្ញុំទៅទៀតហើយសរុបទៅគឺគាត់ចង់ឲ្យផ្ដោតទៅលើការផ្សព្វផ្សាយពី NIE ដោយបង្ហាញអំពីបញ្ហាដែលយើងកំពុងមានហ្នឹងហើយបញ្ហាហ្នឹងវាសំខាន់ដែលធ្វើឲ្យសាធារណជនហ្នឹងគាត់ឃើញហើយគាត់ដឹងគាត់ចង់សិក្សានៅ NIE ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងទាំងអស់គ្នាចាប់បានទេមិនអី
teacher ចង់និយាយថាបញ្ហាដែលយើងកំពុងតែជួបប្រទះហ្នឹងយើង focus ទៅលើបញ្ហាឯណាចឹង
ឥឡូវឧត្តមសាគិតមួយមើលតើបើសិនជាគេឲ្យថាទៅសេពី NIE គេថាចង់សេពីអីនិយាយពីសព្វផ្សាយពី NIE
ចាស់ចាស់
ហ្នឹងមក
ចាស់ចាស់ហើយកំពុងកសាងអាគារថ្មីអាគារចូលក្នុងអីទេបេតិកភណ្ឌពិភពលោកនេះចូលប្រហែលអាគារដែរ
ហ្នឹងឃើញហ៎ឃើញរាជគាត់ឃើញមុខទៀតនៅ NIE យើងមានសំណង់ដែលពីដើមដែលទៅកន្លែងទេខ្ញុំថាមានក៏អត់ទេតែបើគេមានក៏ល្អដែរយើងក៏និយាយល្អពី NIE ដែរថាអាគារនៅសិក្សានៅក្នុងវិទ្យាស្ថានគ្រូកសលនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាយើងមានច្រើនហើយវាមានថ្មីមានចាស់ហ្នឹងទៅដល់ឡែកនៅក្នុង NIE របស់យើងមានអាគារសម្រាប់អភិរក្សរបស់ពីដើមអញ្ចឹងណាអញ្ចឹងជាអ្វីដែលយើងបានលើកស្ទួយពីអាគារសិក្សារបស់យើងហើយវានៅក្នុងកន្លែងណាទៀតនៅក្នុង NIE អញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាសាធារណជនឬក៏អ្នកណាដែលគាត់ចង់សិក្សានៅ NIE ហ្នឹងគាត់មានឱកាសបានមកមើលអាគារហ្នឹងផងគាត់បានទទួលចំណេះដឹងផងវាជាអ្វីដែលយើងជួយផ្សព្វផ្សាយអាហ្នឹងអូខេ
ហើយ NIE នឹងខ្លាយទៅជាសាកលវិទ្យាល័យមួយនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាដែរ
ហ្នឹងហើយអាហ្នឹងក៏យើងតែពីប្រធានបទមួយពីអ្នកណាគាត់ចង់សរសេរអំពីរឿងការបន្តការសិក្សាថ្នាក់ដល់សិក្សាអនុបណ្ឌិតអីអញ្ចឹងទៅឬក៏ថ្នាក់ឯកជនអីអាហ្នឹងក៏យើងសរសេរបានពីប្រធានបទមួយទៀតដែរអញ្ចឹងវាមានការដែលយើងអាចសរសេរអញ្ចឹងយើងមើលឃើញតាល្អរៀបហ្នឹងឯងជប់ដល់គំនិតអីនេះយើងតិចទៅគាត់ដឹងថាគួរតែសរសេរអីហើយអញ្ចឹងសរុបទៅនៅពេលដែលតែអំពីរឿងអីមួយគាត់ចង់ឲ្យយើងសរសេរពីបញ្ហាដែលយើងឃើញស្អីដែលជាបញ្ហានាំមកយើងធ្វើរឿងនឹងកើតឡើងនាំមកយើងផ្សព្វផ្សាយពីកន្លែងយើងកើតឡើងអញ្ចឹងណាហ្នឹងហើយកន្លែងយើងហ្នឹងវាល្អអីវាមានអីដែលពិសេសជាងគេអូខេអ្នកណាមានយោបល់អីទៀតទេឬក៏មិនច្បាស់ត្រង់កន្លែងណាអាចសាកសួរឲ្យទៅហើយដូចខ្ញុំសួរបញ្ជាក់គាត់8មិញអញ្ចឹងយើងមានរយៈពេលតែ3សប្តាហ៍ទេក្នុងការធ្វើអញ្ចឹងវាលឿនដែរណាតែបើគិតរឿង website យើងធ្វើឲ្យអញ្ចឹងវាអត់បញ្ហាលំបាកអ្វីដែលយើងគិតគឺតែយើងគួរតែផ្សព្វផ្សាយអំពីអ្វីសាច់ខាងក្នុងហ្នឹងផ្សព្វផ្សាយអំពីអ្វីហើយយើងផ្សព្វផ្សាយរបៀបម៉េចយើងមានដាក់ជាអត្ថបទឬក៏ដាក់ជារូបភាពហើយយើងមានបញ្ចូលជាសំឡេងជាខ្សែវីដេអូខ្លះដូចខាងចំណានពីលើកមុនហ្នឹងគាត់និយាយអំពីការផ្សព្វផ្សាយគេធ្វើជាវីដេអូកំ pl តែតាមខ្ញុំតាមមើលអ្វីដែលគាត់ចង់បានហ្នឹងมันសរសេរពីធ្វើវីដេអូកំ pl ហ្នឹងมันត្រូវទេព្រោះវាជាកន្លែងអប់រំមួយអញ្ចឹងណានៅ NIE យើងជួយផ្សព្វផ្សាយអញ្ចឹងយើងធ្វើអ្វីដែលមើលទៅវាជាព័ត៌មានដែលគួរឲ្យគេចង់ដឹងហើយវាមិនមែនជារឿងដែលកំ pl ទេអញ្ចឹងយើងកុំយករឿងកំ pl យកមកដាក់នៅកន្លែងហ្នឹងទេណាហ្នឹងហើយមានអីទៀតទេតចាឬក៏វតីសមាវតីក៏ទាំងអស់គ្នាអីហើយបើសិនជាមានអីក៏សួរមក
អត់មានអីចង់សួរអ្នកគ្រូចាំពេលឆ្ងល់អាចសួរតាមក្រោយទៀតបានតែអ្នកគ្រូ
ចាបានតែប៉ុន្តែកុំភ្លេចណាយើងមានតែ3សប្តាហ៍ទេយត្តពេលចាំឆ្ងល់វាចិត្តដល់ពេលអញ្ចឹងមិនថាបើឆ្ងល់មានអីសួរហើយចិត្តតាមិនដែរ
បញ្ជាក់មួយចង់ថាអានសម្រាប់ advertisement ហ្នឹងយើងធ្វើហ្នឹងតែមួយសម្រាប់ក្រុមយើង website ហ្មងឬក៏នៅបន្តដោយរឿងយើងដែលធ្វើម្នាក់មួយទេចា
ម្នាក់មួយតា
នៅពួកអីដោយសារតែយើងដឹងស្រាប់អាគារយើងវាមានមួយអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំគិតថាប្រហែលជាគ្នាយើងទាំងអស់អាចនឹងព្រោះទៅប្រធានបទជាន់គ្នាច្រើនខ្ញុំគិតថាអញ្ចឹងទេចា
ជាន់គ្នាច្រើនតែការសរសេររបស់យើងក៏អត់ដូចគ្នាដែរចេតាអញ្ចឹងណាបើសិនជាគាត់សរសេរពីអាគារហ្នឹងក៏មិនប្រកាសជាការសំណេរប្រកាសសាច់ក្នុងរបស់គាត់សរសេរហ្នឹងដូចរបស់ចេតាដែរត្រូវទេហ្នឹងហើយវាអត់ខុសទេគាត់អាចរើប្រធានបទដូចគ្នាប៉ុន្តែសំណេរខាងក្នុងនោះប្រកាសជាខុសគ្នាឯគេមើលទៅឃើញវាសរសេរដូចគ្នាប៉ុន្តែអត្ថន័យគឺខុសគ្នាបន្តិចបន្តួចអញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាអាគារដែលគាត់សរសេរពីអាគារអាគារហាស់ឬក៏អាគារណាអាគារ B អាគារហាស់អាចទៅសេពីអាគារ B ហ្នឹងទៅឬក៏បើមិនអាគារ B យើងទៅសេអាគារណាអនុវត្តអីទៅខ្ញុំក៏អត់ដឹងដែរអញ្ចឹងណាតែដែលនិយាយសរុបទៅគឺប្រហែលជាប្រកាសជាមិនដូចគ្នាមិនមែនប្រហែលប្រកាសជាមិនដូចគ្នាហើយ
ជាគ្រូហ្នឹងមិនមែនធ្វើជាក្រុមទេគ្រូធ្វើតែម្នាក់ឯងមកគ្រូ
ចាអង្គតំពើបើសិនតែយើងធ្វើអាក្រុមយើងធ្វើឲ្យ website យើង design ទៀតកើតសាច់រឿងខាងក្នុងគឺរឿងយើងម្នាក់យើងគិតថាយើងចង់ផ្សព្វផ្សាយពីអីយើងចង់សរសេរពីអីអាហ្នឹងជាគំនិតរបស់យើងជាការច្នៃប្រឌិតហើយពេលយើងសរសេរហ្នឹងដូចយើងមើល website គេតែឯងតែមានឈ្មោះអ្នកនិពន្ធនៅក្នុងហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងដាក់អ្នកនិពន្ធដាក់ថ្ងៃអញ្ចឹងទៅឲ្យឃើញឲ្យ clip ដូចគេទៅណាឲ្យគេដឹងមកបើគាត់គេអ្នកសរសេររឿងហ្នឹងគាត់ចង់បានអញ្ចឹងដែលខ្ញុំចង់ស្រុកពីមនីមកខាងដើមបន្តិចមិញហ្នឹងឯងបាទចាមិនដាច់ទេតាច្បាស់ទេ
ច្បាស់ទីចាហើយខ្ញុំសុំមួយទៀតអានេះសុំទោសគ្នាយើងបើសិននៅយើងយូរតិចអានេះមិនមែនជាសំណួរចេះតែលក្ខណៈជាកង្វល់របស់ពួកខ្ញុំគ្រប់គ្នាដែរពួកភាគច្រើនអាទិត្យហ្នឹងយើងប្រឡងពេញរហូតមួយឈើដល់អាទិត្យក្រោយហើយសម្រាប់អាទិត្យក្រោយហ្នឹងមិនមានធ្វើ teacher ទេគឺពួកខ្ញុំនឹងត្រូវធ្វើជា presentation ឡើងបទបង្ហាញខាងគ្រូកុសលហើយពួកខ្ញុំត្រូវរៀបចំធ្វើ research ដើម្បីការពារ research proposal ទៀតដល់ទៅពេលចប់ពីអាទិត្យហ្នឹងគឺពួកខ្ញុំចុះ star ហ្មង teacher ដល់អញ្ចឹងវាចា3អាទិត្យហើយការងារខាងនោះផងអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំគិតថាវាអាចនឹងពិបាកសម្រាប់គ្នាយើងហ្នឹង teacher អាហ្នឹងជាកង្វល់មួយដែលមើលឃើញទៅប្រាប់អាហារ
តាវិញគិតថាតើគួរតែពន្យាពេលឬមួយក៏អត់ដើម្បីយើងលើសំណើទៅឲ្យគាត់ព្រោះគាត់ដឹងទេគាត់ដឹងរឿងហ្នឹងឯណាហ្នឹងហើយតើគិតថាគួរតែពន្យាពេលទេបើគួរដល់សប្តាហ៍ទីប្រហែលបើគាត់ថាឥឡូវឲ្យ3សប្តាហ៍តើយើងគួរថាពន្យាពេលដល់សប្តាហ៍ទីប្រហែលឥឡូវយើងសារឲ្យយោបល់មក
លើសំខាន់គ្នាយើងពួកអីទាំងអស់គ្នាខ្ញុំមិនថាក្រុមមួយក្រុមពីរយើង schedule ដូចគ្នាទាំងអស់អញ្ចឹងយើងអាចផ្ដល់ជាមតិតិចទៅស្រួលយើងប្រាប់គាត់ពួកគាត់ដឹងរឿងយើងត្រូវចុះ star កែក្រោយអីចឹងណាខ្លាចគេលោកការងារច្រើនយើងវេទនាទាំងអស់គ្នា
ចាហ្នឹងហើយតោះមិនដែរ
គ្រូចង់វាទី2យើងនៅរៀនដែរតែមិនគ្រូ
តែយើងនៅដូចជាតានិយាយអញ្ចឹងយើងនៅរៀនទេគ្រាន់តែយើងមានកិច្ចការងារត្រូវធ្វើអញ្ចឹងណាយើងមានប្រឡងយើងមានធ្វើការស្រាវជ្រាវហើយចុះកម្មសិក្សាអីចឹងទៅ
តែយើងអាចចុះបច្ចុប្បន្នយើងចុះទៅព្រឹកហើយយើងមករៀនវិញឬអត់ទេ
អត់មានចុះទៅមកទេតែចុះទៅអត់មានចុះឲ្យមកវិញអើយតែណាចា
នៅគ្រូសុខប្រហែលមកយើងចាំវិញយើងចូលវិញយើងអានេះទៅយើងបង្ហោះតាមនៅ page តាម website របស់យើងទៅណាគ្រូហ្នឹង
ចាតាម website ដែលយើងធ្វើឲ្យពីមុនមកហ្នឹងយើងធ្វើឲ្យយើងដាក់ចូលក្នុងហ្នឹងវិញមក
បាទ
ចាប៉ុន្តែក៏ខ្ញុំ set deadline Google Classroom ដូចគ្នាដែរដើម្បីឲ្យដឹងទាំងអស់ថាយើងនឹងប្រមូលអញ្ចឹងណាហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងឥឡូវយើងគិតគ្នាឲ្យច្បាស់ទៅដើម្បីឲ្យយើងបានដឹងរឿងហើយនឹងលើកសំណើទៅកាន់ដុកទ័រអញ្ញាតាមក្រោយទៀតឲ្យយើងមានគោលឬអបនេះអញ្ចឹងណាឥឡូវមានចិត្តតាមានចិត្តតានៅក្រុម1មិនរៀបនៅក្រុម2រៀបគិតថាយ៉ាងម៉េចដែរ
ខ្ញុំគិតថាបើអាចនៅពេលយើងរួចរាល់ហើយយើងយកបាននៅក្នុងពេលយូរពេកឬក៏មិននៅពេលយើងទៅខំហើយយើងតាមយើងធ្វើបទបង្ហាញហ្នឹងយ៉ាងម៉េច
ទៅខំហើយsubmit យូរហ្មងចាតែពិតគាត់ចង់បញ្ចប់មុនឆមាសទី1នេះទេចាក់ស្ដែងតែមកពីយើងរៀងដើរមករៀងយូរតិចទៅហើយតាំងពីមុន pre test post test អីរៀង post test នៅ pre test តាំងពីមុនហ្នឹងគឺរៀងយូរតិចហើយអញ្ចឹងមកចាប់ practical ហើយនេះហ្នឹងគឺអត់បានទេតែបើសិនជាយើងអាចថាបានត្រឹមសប្តាហ៍4ក៏5សប្តាហ៍ហ្នឹងអូខេប្រហែលជាគាត់អាចគិតបានអញ្ចឹងណា
អញ្ចឹងមានអាចទៅយូរតិចទៅនឹងគ្រូខ្លាចអាចទៅ3សប្តាហ៍4សប្តាហ៍ដល់5សប្តាហ៍ទៅនឹងគ្រូយើងខ្ញុំប្រឡងហើយគ្រូ
បំបីមិញគាត់ថា3សប្តាហ៍អញ្ចឹងឥឡូវបើសិនជាយើងនិយាយថាដល់
5សប្តាហ៍ទៅ
5សប្តាហ៍អញ្ចឹងណា
បាទ5សប្តាហ៍ទៅយើងខ្ញុំតែគាត់បានប្រឡងបានឲ្យអស់អញ្ចឹងណាគ្រូយើង
អាចធ្វើនឹងបានអញ្ចឹងគិតមិនដែរគួងបរមីគួងនៅក្រុម2បរមីក្រុម1មិនដែរហើយយើងមាន10អ្នកជាងហ្នឹងសួរឲ្យយើងយកជាមតិរួមតែម្ដង
អ្នកក្រុម1
នៅគ្រូ website ហ្នឹងតារាបាននេះឲ្យនៅគ្រូណានៅគ្រូ
ណារ៉ាចាំខ្ញុំឆែកមើលឡើងវិញរីកជាមួយខ្ញុំឆែកមើលឡើងវិញណាឥឡូវខ្ញុំសុំមតិតិចសិនព្រោះគាត់ត្រូវគាត់
ចា
បាទ
គ្រូបាទ
តើឥឡូវជីតាសុំសួរតិចមកហើយបន្តមកចាំដល់រីកម្ដងសួរ7
សម្រាប់ខ្ញុំភាគច្រើនអត់សូវបញ្ហាគ្រប់ត្រូលដូចគ្នា
គ្រប់ត្រូលហ្នឹងមិនគ្រប់ត្រូលទៅណា3 សប្តាហ៍
សុំអត់មិន3សប្តាហ៍ទេប្រហែលជាអាចសុំ5សប្តាហ៍បើសិនជាអាចចង់ចុះ star ហើយចាំធ្វើផងឈើតែដោយសារឈើថាយឺតចឹងអត់កើត
ខ្ញុំដឹងតែអត់កើតតែ star ហើយនេះនឹងដឹងតែអត់កើតតែម្ដងអញ្ចឹងមកខ្ញុំថាបើសិនជាពជាអាហ្នឹងបានតែថាឲ្យ star ហើយបានចាប់ផ្ដើមធ្វើឬក៏ដាក់ submit ហ្នឹងអត់កើតទេហ្នឹងណាតែបើចង់សាកល្បងទូអាហ្នឹងសាកទៅ
anyway that is better
ហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងឥឡូវមិនដែរទាំងអស់នេះសរុបថាយើងស្នើទៅ5សប្តាហ៍ណោះមិនដែរសំនៀងអូយសំសួរយោបល់ហើយអត់ស្ងាត់ទៅតិចឲ្យ3សប្តាហ៍លើ
អត់ទេសំខាន់លើមេវិធីព្រោះអីគេមានក្រុមឆាត secret នៅមួយទៀតគេចូលរួមគ្នាអញ្ចឹងណាជីឆាត
និយាយតែបងក្រុមប្រធានអីបើគ្នាយើងក្នុង meeting ហ្នឹងស្រាប់បើកមីក្រូម្នាក់មួយម៉ាត់មួយមួយមានអត់អីទេតែប្រធានថាមិនអញ្ចឹងទៅអត់បញ្ហាទេប្រធានផង
ទៅគ្រូប្រធានខ្ញុំនៅដែរក្រុម2
បាត់មុខបាត់ហើយចឹងមិនថាឲ្យរៀបនេះមកហ្នឹងរៀបអ្នកនេះទៅអ្នកនេះទៅ
5សប្តាហ៍ទៅដូច
ចាំប្រធានទេពីណាក៏បានដែរខ្ញុំអូខេក្រុមមួយ
បាទ
អូខេ
5សប្តាហ៍ខ្ញុំសំណូមពរដល់5សប្តាហ៍ទៅយើងប្រឡងឲ្យចប់ពីរាល់ហ្នឹង
5សប្តាហ៍មានដាច់ខែ2ហ្នឹងដាច់ខែ2
ប្រហែលជាថ្ងៃណាបាច់ពីខាងនេះ
ប្រហែលជាកំពុងតែ star ទៀតនោះ
ហ្នឹងហើយចុះបងឈើគាត់ថាមិនអាចឲ្យ star ហើយបាទយើងធ្វើចឹងវាពេលចង់
star
ស្តា
កំពុងតែ star ហ្នឹងកំពុងតែ star ហ្នឹងយើងធ្វើអត់បានអីឬក៏មិនឥឡូវបើសិនជាគាត់ឲ្យថា5សប្តាហ៍ហើយយើងថា5សប្តាហ៍ខ្ញុំនៅកំពុងតែ star ទៀតឥឡូវយើងគាត់ថាអត់បានឥឡូវទៅយក3សប្តាហ៍វិញអើយលោកព្រះហើយគេឲ្យហើយនៅគិតថាទៅកំពុងតែ star ទៀតខ្ញុំមិនគេឲ្យណាយើងគិតចឹងណា
2 ខែនោះតាមមួយខែ2 ខែ
តាមនឹងមួយខែទេនេះ
ហើយតាមក្នុងពេញនៅខាងខ្ញុំដូចជាពេញ7
នៅភ្នំពេញលោកគ្រូ
ពេញគឺថាបាត់កូវីដកណាអូមីក្រុងមកខែ2ទៀតអើចំណុចនៅគ្រូផ្ដល់ព័ត៌មានមកលឿនមកជិតអូមីក្រុងមកស្អីណា
ហ្នឹងឥឡូវខ្ញុំចង់ដោះស្រាយរឿងអីស្រាយឥឡូវមើលថាក្នុងសប្តាហ៍5សប្តាហ៍ហ្នឹងនៅក្នុងកំឡុងពេលយើងចុះ star យើងអូខេទេយើងនិយាយមួយគ្នាហើយណា
ចុះ star នឹងចុះមិនទេណាវារវល់អត់នេះគ្រូ
សប្តាហ៍ដំបូងអត់រវល់ទេ2សប្តាហ៍ដំបូងគឺដឹងអត់រវល់ហើយចុះទៅតែអង្គេតថ្នាក់ទេឬក៏យើងយក3សប្តាហ៍តាមគាត់និយាយធ្វើឲ្យហើយហ្មងមុនចុះ star ហ្មងទៅណាឲ្យបាក់ម៉េច
ស្អែកជុំនៅគ្រូជួបជុំថ្នាក់មួយទៅល្អហ្មងតែជុំនៅគ្រូទៀត
ប៉ុណ្ណឹងមករបៀបដាក់ដប់ហើយត្មមតែជុំគ្នាទៀតនឹងអង្គិតមិនចេញទេនឹងនៅជាប់នោះណា
សូមត្រឹម5សប្តាហ៍ណាគ្រូ
ចាហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងឥឡូវខ្ញុំសូមសរុបតែម្ដងណាតាជាអីនៅអត់ឃើញចេញសម្លេងសោះតាជា
ខ្ញុំសូមតក្ករាខែ2ណាគ្រូ
អូខេកណ្ដាលខែ2ហ្នឹងសប្តាហ៍ទី5ហ្នឹងហើយ5សប្តាហ៍ហ្នឹងមែន
គេកណ្ដាលខែ2 2សប្តាហ៍
ម៉ានដងទៀត
កណ្ដាលខែ
2មិនត្រូវតែ2សប្តាហ៍ហ្នឹង3សប្តាហ៍ត្រូវហើយ3សប្តាហ៍
ឥឡូវយើងបាច់និយាយថាពាក់កណ្ដាលខែ2យើងសម្រាប់ថាយក5សប្តាហ៍ទៅហ្មងទៅ
ចា5សប្តាហ៍ហើយ5សប្តាហ៍ហ្នឹងដល់ថ្ងៃទីប្រហែលអាចដឹងបានទេព្រោះឥឡូវហ្នឹងយើងគិតថាសប្តាហ៍ចុងក្រោយគឺសប្តាហ៍បន្ទាប់សប្តាហ៍ក្រោយគឺសប្តាហ៍ទី1អញ្ចឹងណាយើងកុំគិតសប្តាហ៍ហ្នឹងណា
ឥឡូវនៅគ្រូសម្រាប់សប្តាហ៍
21st February
21st เนาะอันนั้นไงที่มาน้องแนท
first
chắc
March
chờ
จันทร์ให้โยงไงเติบโตโยงไงจันทร์
là Tết mà phơi cột
ไปกดโอเคចឹងឥឡូវខ្ញុំសាកលើកសំណើហ្នឹងទៅថ្ងៃ20ខ្ញុំឲ្យจิតាចុះព្រោះจิតាចំណាចេញពីក្រុមយើងវិញពីល្អជាងខ្ញុំណាព្រោះអីយើងតំណាងសិស្សនៅក្នុងហ្នឹងទាំងអស់អូខេจิតា
chàng thì chờ khi dương chăm chui một tháng phong
ទៅបន្តផងពីយើង
chui một tờ phong
ថ្ងៃទី20
ប៉ា
ខែហ្នឹងដែរខែ2ហ្នឹងហើយខែ1
ហ្នឹងបានមិនមកពឹងតែจิតាបើអត់បានគឺអត់បានដែរ
ôi trời
chạy đó
បានយកការគូជំនាញ
Dr. Ania Hello Dr. Ania
បាទដល់ហ្នឹងហ្នឹង
នៅតា Dr. Ania
Yes.
Dr. Ania there's a request from the student
Yes.
to request for the deadline of the assignment to submissions. So Chita, can you rest out your problem?
yes teacher Dr. Anya, we are so sorry that we know that it is very late for us to submit the deadline. However, for the assignment for this week, we have the semester exams, and also next week we have to do the research proposal, protect our research proposal, and other subjects as well.
No problem.
Yeah, and then
Postpone it.
after that, we have to do the practicum. We don't know, maybe 1 month or 2 months. We don't know about that. So it's very busy for us right now. So we want to request you, maybe we can delay the deadline maybe to 5 weeks because yours is 3 weeks.
Okay, so by when? So are we still having classes every Monday?
Yes, but for the practicum season, I'm not sure because we don't know. Maybe we do it the whole day, or we don't have our schedule yet. So
okay, so you negotiated with teacher Neri. All I do is just teach you, and teacher Neri can decide on the deadline.
Okay, very good then. All right, so then can we agree for all of them to submit the assignment number 2 till 20 of February?
Yeah.
Okay, good then. All right, so all is done then, and whenever they are doing their practicum, we may not have the meeting because they have their own schedule for teaching already.
Sure.
Oh, okay, good then. Thank you very much. So it's all done.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for your presence here. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, teacher.
thank you.
we'll see you again next week.
Thank you.